The strongest system. So I got to chapter 250, I think, and I was actually enjoying the novel. It was actually really, really good. But then it went all weird. It was already a little bit weird, but in a funny kind of way. So I was actually enjoying it. I was just like, okay, I mean, this is cool. It's really funny. There's the character is pretty interesting. The main character has a broken ability. He's essentially a gamer inside a cultivation world where he has the ability of the gamer, so he can take any skills and he can learn them. He can level them up the way a gamer level up skills. Um, and obviously it's really broken because in cultivation world it can take you thousands and hundreds of thousands of years to god level before you can actually level up some of this ability to high tier. But for main character, just gets XP, boom, levels up ability and level them up one after another one and becomes essentially god tier, which is fine. I'm a big fan of that. And it was really good. The main character was really cool too, and the story was actually kind of interesting. There's some conspiracy stuff and some theories is going on there in the background. The main character hinting in different direction. The plot is pretty interesting. I was actually enjoying it, and it was actually also a little bit funny until the part when a couple of things really bothering me is that the main character decided to name the Kang Pang as a rock, which was really weird. I don't understand why he went in the direction. I read his explanation, not the after, the translator, and he gives some generic explanation which didn't make sense at all. I thought it was the dumbest decision ever. Like I read any other novel and I read a lot of them and it's never a rock. They never call Kang Peng. It's like always some kind of a being. Like if you read Emperor Domination, it's like a giant whale. Yeah, I read bunch of other novels. It's usually a bird or some kind of a lizard or it could be any kind of creature, but it's never a goddamn rock. And it was so confusing because it's just like, oh, the rock had big wings. What the fuck? Right? And the rocks start flying. And obviously, Kang Pengs are usually really powerful creatures. And so he was flying through like dimensions and like not through dimensions, like space and time and stuff to traverse like long distance and stuff in this particular novel. But it was really confusing as to why. I don't know why the translator decided to name that. I really thought that was a dumb decision, and so it wasn't. Now that didn't what turn me off. That was confusing, and I'm just like, okay, fine. I don't know why he calls us. So every time he says rock, I'm imagining it's like Kang Pang, and I'm just like, okay, it makes sense because um, it did not make sense if you don't know what that is. So then the thing that really bothered me, and that is, even though it was kind of a little bit funny, but at the same time it was like really weird. So he was fighting one of the immortal dudes, and it wasn't actually a dude, it was just his dick, right? He was fighting against, he calls it giant donger. He was just fighting against another guy's dick, essentially, like a giant, imagine there's like a giant dick in the sky and the main character was fighting it, right? It got so goofy and weird, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? It was kind of funny, but at the same time, I don't know. It was weird. It was just at that point I was just start losing. Oh my god, interest in that novel, and so later on it gets even more boring because like the way the main character started just the way the author started describing thing. Oh, there was girls on the ground and they were getting turned on and they were leaving giant pools of wetness and the wetness starts shining and this it gets so weird. It was just like, what am I reading, some kind of erotic novel? Or for fuck's sake, I don't give a shit about any. It got really weird that I lost any kind of interest I had in a novel. But if you into that kind of stuff, if you get past that, it's actually a really good novel. I liked it a lot. I just can't get past the type of writing and the way the main character described, I mean the after or the translator, I'm assuming it's the translator. I'm really, really confident it was actually the translator who was translating in that way. At this point, I gotta start learning Chinese and just reading them raw. But anyways, yeah, the novel got really weird in descriptive way, and I really wanted to know why they split the world of the cultivation world and who were those entities that were invading the world and taking over all those powerful beings. And it was really cool plot, but the type of writing, the way he described it, just not for me. Anyways, the novel is called The Strongest System. If you're into that, you might like it. It's actually really funny and really decent plot line and really cool abilities and stuff and slides of game element and all cool stuff. Like I said, the only thing that bothered me is the way the after was or the translator was describing some of the part about the novel.